Let's get on with the details now. Members of Parliament are raising concerns about stranded passengers, mostly traders and farmers, on the Buipe Yapei bridge. Parliament today summoned the Roads and Highways Minister Kwesi Amakwata to appear before it on Thursday to respond to questions on the inconvenience being caused passengers following closure of the bridge. The summons follow the concerns that were raised by the MPs, including Minority Leader Haruna Idrisu. We'll be hearing from them a bit later, but our parliamentary correspondent Joseph Opoku-Gakpo joins us with some more. Hello, Gakpo. We already spoke to you this afternoon. What is the latest development in Parliament? Gakpo, if you can hear me, we already spoke to you this afternoon about what's happening in Parliament. Give us the very latest.
Well, currently the House is debating the 2017, well, not the 2017, but the 2018 budget statement. They're hoping to approve it by the end of the week, and mainly the focus has been on the agriculture, the employment, and also the foreign affairs sector. Right now, the conversation is around the foreign affairs sector, and there's been an allegation by one of the members on the minority side that when the president traveled to the General Assembly, the UN General Assembly in the middle of the year, he took along an entourage of more than 200 people, and the majority leader has been on a tweet demanding that he provide evidence to substantiate that particular claim that he made, and so that's what is being discussed at the moment. Earlier, there was a conversation around the employment sector, and there were a number of announcements by Deputy Employment Minister Buipe, who spoke on the floor of Parliament a while ago. He indicated that one of the things that they intend doing in the year 2018 would be to withdraw the ban which had been in place on Ghanaian women traveling to the Gulf regions to undertake various activities and to do menial jobs to earn money. He says that in the next 2 weeks, that ban will be lifted, and that would allow for people to be able to travel there to do their work. But he indicated that that would be done in a more responsible manner, and that's how he puts it. He's also been announcing that there is an audit that's ongoing at the Youth Employment Agency to ensure that those who are earning salaries there are people who are really working for the money that they would be taking. So that
let's focus a bit more on the members of Parliament and the concerns of us as well that they've raised over the bridge closure on the Buipe Yapei bridge. Now, what are the concerns they're raising? They are concerned, obviously, about passengers being stranded, etc. But exactly how do they put it?
The minority leader just make the point that Christmas is approaching. There's a lot of business and transportation that happens over the bridge. He says that over the last 3 or 4 days following the closure of the bridge, a lot of these activities have ceased. He would want the minister to come to the floor of Parliament to respond to questions as to what is being done to ensure the free flow of traffic, even as work is being undertaken with regards to the repair of that bridge. He got support from those on the majority side. Deputy Majority Chief Whip Martin Yindam said that he's equally concerned about this, but he knows that Cabinet is working at ensuring that the situation is resolved. The Speaker directed that the Minister be made to appear before the House on Thursday to respond to questions about this.
Very well, Joseph. Thank you very much. We'll be playing some of the soundbite from Parliament, from the members of Parliament themselves. But in the meantime, tension is heightening at the Yeji ferry site as there's confusion among hundreds of stranded commuters and drivers. Now, the only ferry at Yeji, which takes just 9 vehicles at a time, has come under a lot of pressure following the closure of the Buipe and the Yapei bridges. Now, Daniel Techi works with Alive FM in Yeji. He's been speaking with the stranded commuters.
We went to meet in Accra and we are going back to Tamale. The situation here is very, very unfortunate. So we want the government to come and help us to solve this problem. Else they will bring another pantu to come and help or anything they can do to help us. So we are pleading to the government to help us in this situation.
I'm working with University of Education. I am on a trip to Bolgatanga to supervise students there. I've been here since Friday and I've not been able to cross to Mankango. I'm very close to the ferry. My car is very close to the ferry, but I'm not certain of when actually I would get into the ferry. There's no guarantee. There's lots of frustrations. And what I can see now is that I would plead that the government comes to the people's aid.
Obviously, very agitated drivers there. Let's get the very latest on the situation at Yeji. Daniel Techi works with Alive FM in Yeji. Hello, Daniel. Thank you very much for your time. Now, what is the reason for the confusion? Obviously, they're not happy, but they seem to be putting a whole lot of different things together whilst they were talking to you.
Buipe, please come again.
Yes, I'm asking the core reason why they are so agitated. They're obviously not happy with the fact that they are stranded, but they seem to be putting different issues together whilst they were talking to you. What caused that kind of confusion? Yeah.
Yes, some were talking about demurrage that is affecting them, because some of them said they spent about 7 days now and they are supposed to pay some amount of money to the customs division at the border. So all that they're saying is, had it not been that they're having a traffic on the lake here, they would have been able to meet the deadline given to them. So they're saying they are going to pay thousands to this per each day, and that amount, it isn't their fault. So how are they going to raise that amount of money that they are supposed to pay to the customs division? And the second thing that has also generated that confusion at the shore was some drivers came in late, and according to them, there was a queue that they need to join the queue. But it looks as if they are being favored to maybe get on board so that they can get to the other side of the lake, of which those who have been here for the past 6-7 days don't agree with them. That is another reason why there was a confusion at the shore this morning. And they were also saying that there have been several calls or there have been several comments by the management, the local management, that there will be another ferry which will come in order to augment the one that is working as it stands now. But for the past 3 days that they've been telling them there will be another vessel, the vessel hasn't come. Yes, better still, they've been telling them the same story. So they are annoyed with the management, local management here. Those are the reasons why there was a confusion at the shore this morning.
They themselves putting up, are they able to deal with, I mean, how do they take a shower? How do they eat? How do they use the places of convenience? How do they put up there?
You see, it's been so difficult for them because when you get to the evening and you get to the shore and see how people are suffering, the way they eat, even some of them, excuse me to say, eat themselves in the nearby bushes around them. And when you get to the place is smelling. In fact, those who are carrying goods, perishable goods like tomatoes, banana, and onion, those cars are all, in fact, their goods are spoiled. And when you get around, the things alone, it sucks you away. In fact, their state as it stands now is so difficult.
Wow. Interesting. Well, we'll see how it goes. Actually, that we'll be playing this the Deputy Minister's soundbite in which he says that by close of week today, they would have brought a new ferry. Is this the kind of information they may be aware of? Are they aware of the arrangements being made for them to, to put them at ease?
Well, the local manager we have here, Mr. Bright Josiah, told us that the ferry was on the way coming as of yesterday. And what he told the passengers and myself was that by the end of let's say before daybreak today, there will be a new ferry. Okay. And also we're waiting for the Yapei Queen. The Yapei Queen is coming on its normal routine work. And according to him, when they arrive, they will be able to talk to them so that they can also help at least carry some of the cars to the other shore. But the drivers are saying those things are just a dispute because they've been thinking that the comments the minister made and what the local manager is also telling them, meaning there haven't been a truth in two of them. So they don't know as to who they should believe, whether the minister, the deputy minister, or the local manager with them here.
Much for that update. Daniel Techi works with the Live FM in Yeji, bringing us updates there. Well, Justice Bedu has also visited the Tamale station here in Accra to assess the situation there and the impact the closure of those bridges are having.
I came here, I moved through a lot. I went to Imperial, I went to STC. STC has even closed down. STC is not operating. We have been treated like second-class citizens because the first-class citizens they go to airport, they take flight, and they don't face these difficulties. If I don't even take time, I will sleep on the way. I'll pass through Eastern Corridor, get to Tamale. I'll pick a car from Tamale, get to Yapei, drop there, and take a Motor King across the bridge to another village before I would take a car to Fufulso Junction, before I would take a car from Fufulso to Damango where I am going. Something that is supposed to take me about 8 hours, I am supposed to take about 21 to 22 hours. For God's sake, we don't merit this.
Me too, Yawada or Paga. Yawada area 12 o'clock, number 2 or Paga. About Sunday, and I do 11. And so I'm EPN Krumba. So I'm free Paga and a bar car. Ye buy a baby drew Yapei. Yedim say Yapei bridge in the air while holding a crack. I'll meet my house, but now almost be 3 to 4 hours. O mama yakwa me amfa so. So ya for all say nyadia. I was say itimi fa so money to mama yakwa me amfa so. And I dan ye say free Yapei. E call back to Tamale. Ko fa Saraga kwan. I so nya kwan a e bete e kwan a enye ba ko pa o Ghana hanso ba ko no. Ye nam so a be pie Makango a wo Yeji saa kuro no nsuo no dantam no na be pie saa nsuo no achi nsuo no achi woni be pie no it take 3 bad days mean ka say good days o bad days ansa na yetime nya kwai ama panto na be fire me ade aba Yeji ewo saa eho no nti ho de bread ye dove ni bi o bi ani o fa na be che o.
For now the place is very bad and where the buses are passing to it's a long distance and also like the road is not good. That's what I was told. So I don't know what I'll face on the way. So we reached there to see what's going to happen.
Some commuters there speaking to Justice Bedu here in Accra. In the meantime, the Deputy Roads and Highways Minister, Anthony Yapei, has assured that commuters who are affected by the closure of the Yapei and Buipe bridges that ferries will arrive by close of week. Now, the new deadline was after an earlier assurance by the ferry manager that the ferries were due to arrive by close of day yesterday. The ferries are expected to ease the transportation burden on farmers, traders and drivers following the closure of those two bridges. From that story, students of the Tamale, Ho and Accra schools of hygiene have been demonstrating over the restoration of their allowances months ago. Government announced the restoration of allowances for nursing trainees, but students of the School of Hygiene argue that whilst only their colleague nurses are benefiting from the allowances, they all fall within the same category. They say they have yet to be paid. Let's start from the Kolebu campus here in Accra, where JoyNews, they told JoyNews, they spoke to JoyNews, preferring their own reasons for non-payment of the allowance that they are demanding. Maxwell Agbaba joined them on the streets of Accra and reports.
Students from the School of Hygiene in Kolebu, they are demonstrating on the principal streets of Accra, basically to put pressure on governments to pay the allowances. They say government paid allowances of some of their colleagues months ago, but DS is not forthcoming. So today, on the principal streets of Accra, they are demonstrating to mount pressure on government to pay the allowances.
Demonstrating for our allowance. It has been in for 3 months and we haven't gotten any penny. So we are demanding the government to pay our allowance immediately.
So if it doesn't pay, what's going to happen?
We are going to the house. We never come back to school until the allowance is settled.
You not go back to school?
We not go back to school for him to see that we are angry. It's been 3 months now. All the institutions around Kuala Lumpur have gotten theirs, and we are the only one left alone. So we are charging him to pay our allowance. Otherwise, we are going back to the house. He said he wants to keep Ghana clean, and we are the main people to keep Ghana clean. We are the environmental officers. So if you don't motivate us, how can Ghana be clean?
We haven't gotten our allowance. Ever since the president restored our allowance, we haven't received it. But then on countless efforts we've made to the ministry, we were told we've been transferred from Ministry of Health to Sanitation and Water Resources. We want to tell the government that the fact that we have been transferred from the Ministry of Health to Sanitation and Water Resources doesn't deny us from getting our allowance. 37 is under Ministry of Defense, but then they are taking their allowance. So we being environmental health being transferred from Ministry of Health to the Ministry of Sanitation and Water Resources doesn't mean that we are not supposed to take our allowance. We are still health professionals. We still belong to allied health profession, and whatever we do is a component of health.
So right now, today, what's the demonstration about?
For the month, we have written petition to the Sanitation and Water Resource Ministry that they said we have been transferred to. We have copied to Ministry of Health. We've copied to Flagstaff House. We've even copied to Finance Ministry. But then our effort to make follow-up is to no avail. That is why we want to embark on this allowance and we want to embark on this demonstration and call on the government to remedy this situation.
Yes, Nanado came to our forecourts, School of Hygiene, and campaigned and promised us that he would restore the allowance for all training institutions. So if Nana and his people should turn their back on us now and tell us that they are not giving an allowance, are they trying to tell us we are not part of the training institutions here in Ghana? Then if that's the case, I per se will choose to go to the teacher training college and will receive allowance. That is what most of our colleagues right now are doing. They are killing our career.
That's how it went down here in Accra. Let's move to the Volta region, where Maoli Yevu has been following the demonstrators. He'll join me on the line in a bit, but let's hear from the students.
Our mind is always distorted when we remind ourselves the promises made to us by the current president when we hosted him during his campaign at Accra School of Hygiene. In view of that, the student leadership from the 3 schools, Ho, Accra and Tamale, petitioned the 2 ministries, Ministry of Sanitation and Water Resources and Ministry of Health, as well as the Presidency and the Ministry of Finance on the 8th of November 2017 to rectify the situation at hand. We have made a comprehensive follow-up to all the ministries as well as the presidency for 2 weeks now, but yielded no results. Therefore, we realized that we have decided we were taken for granted, and as such we hesitated to respond to our petitions. So we have decided to embark on a peaceful demonstration on the 28th November 2017 to persuade the ministry to address our issue. We will then proceed to sit down strike if they fail to resolve this issue to our satisfaction.
We went and do e-switch. This is my e-switch. We pay 80 Ghana before they open the e-switch for us. They give us t-shirts, meaning our allowances are there, meaning our monies are there. So we are waiting for our money. The t-shirt is here. They give us the t-shirt, meaning our money is there. Those ministers, we know our dad in Nanado will never do that. Those ministers sitting on our allowances, they should stand up. Please, we are ready for our money. We are ready for our money. This is my e-switch. I'm having everything here. Meaning it's ready for me to get my money. So I'm waiting for the money. We are here. If we don't get the money, we are not going. We are not going to the classroom until we get our allowance. We get our allowances. Our t-shirt is here. Everyone is having a t-shirt. Meaning our allowances are there. They are waiting for us, and we are waiting for it.
Earlier, you heard Kweku Afo. He's the SRC president for the Volta Region School of Hygiene there, also one of the students. Let's get on the line and speak to Mauli Yevu Agbe. Hello, Mauli. What more can you report? Has there been any response from authorities in the region?
Not really. The authorities in the region have done what is ceremonial by accepting the reports for the petition from the students of the School of Hygiene, and have promised to forward it to the appropriate authorities for redress. They have actually submitted it to the Regional Coordinating Council and also to the Health Directorate in the region, and the Deputy Director of Health Services in charge of public health, Dr. Ofori Yeboah, promised them that their petition will be forwarded to the appropriate quarters for redress, and caution them to be on the good side of the law by ensuring that all their activities are lawful and peaceful. The students in their petition, in a number of their tantrums that you heard, are calling on government to walk the talk and deliver on the promises given them when the president was promising them when he was in opposition, and that they want the president to ensure that their allowances, which were withdrawn in the last administration, are restored. And they are threatening further to go on a sit-down strike if the allowances are not restored. According to them, they were made to even register for e-switch cards. Some registration was done for them in preparation towards the restoration of the allowances, yet all their follow-ups have not yielded any results, and this time they are resolute. They want to ensure that the allowances are restored to them, just as has been done in the cases of nurses, trainees, and midwives.
All right. Mauli, thank you very much. It appears that their action today will bring activities on the campus to a halt, I believe.
Well, they are giving government a 2 weeks ultimatum to restore the allowances. If that is not done, or perhaps all learning and teaching activities on the various campuses will come to
they won't go to school to be taught. That's it?
Come again.
They're giving government 2 weeks to respond, or else they won't go to school to be taught, but then the teachers are ready to teach.
Well, they call it a sit-down strike, and that to them, would bring some pressure to bear on government to ensure that things begin to run normally in their schools.
Very well. Mauli, thank you very much for that update. Mauli Yevu is Volta regional correspondent there, bringing us up to speed on what's happening. Away from the Volta region, let's go to the northern region. In Tamale, there's one of the schools there as well. Hashmin Mohammed will join us with details, but let's hear from the students once again.
After going through the procedures for the exercise, we were patiently waiting with hope to receive the allowance, and in fact, still dancing to tune of joy. When to our dismay, all our sister schools, nurses, midwives, and other allied health students received their allowances for 2 months now, and even some have received the 3rd month as at the time of preparing this statement. We at the schools of hygiene have sadly been left frustrated with a delay in the distribution of our allowance.
Some students there in the northern region, Tamale to be precise. Let's speak to Hashmin. Hashmin, what was the response in the region?
Well, the students presented the petition to the representative from the Northern Regional Coordinating Council, that's the planning officer, because we were told the Northern Regional Minister and his deputy are all not in the office. They were equally attending to other important assignments, and in their absence, the Northern Regional Planning Officer received their petition and promised to forward it to the Regional Minister for onward submission to the Minister in charge of water and sanitation. But the students are saying that if after a week they don't get any response, that will meet the demands that they are requesting for. They will boycott classes. And they are also raising issues with the fact that it appears government do not appreciate or is not putting enough premium on school of hygiene across the country, and they want that system to be reversed.
Right. Thank you very much, Hashmin, for that update. Hashmin Mohammed there. So it appears that they're all gathering the information, sending it to either a regional minister or a higher authority. Let's now speak with the PRO for the Health Ministry, Robert Kujo. Sir, thank you very much for your time here on the Pulse. Now, let me find out from you if you know the reason why the students of the hygiene school or School of Hygiene have not been paid their allowances, even though government says it has restored them.
Hello?
Hello, Mr. Kujo. If you can hear me, I'm asking if we can have any explanation, the reason why students of School of Health have not, School of Hygiene have not received their allowances, even though government has restored those allowances.
Okay. Well, the process, I think, was started, but as I speak to you, they do not fall under the Ministry of Health any longer. So anything that has to do with these our School of Hygiene professionals, you talk to the Minister of Water and the Sanitation.
But you just said that the processes are ongoing. Which process are we talking about? Which processes are we talking about? You just said the processes are ongoing. Which processes are we talking about?
Oh, well, the issue of restoring the allowance came up for discussions a couple of months ago, and I think because of the fact that they've been moved to the new ministry, it was kind of referred to the Honorable Kofiada to continue from there. So any discussion with regards to their allowances are now in the domain of the new Ministry for Water and Sanitation.
So help us to better appreciate this situation. What sort of arrangement went on between the two ministries, the Ministry of Health and the Ministry of Sanitation, concerning the allowances, especially about those for the School of Hygiene?
Well, they were also enjoying this facility until it was cancelled by the previous government, including that of teachers, nurse and midwife trainees. And they were also part of those who were benefiting from this facility. But when they were cancelled, all of them were cancelled. But when it came up that it should be paid, I mean, the two schools, probably the training, the education sector, and that of the nurses and the midwifery, the process got started and it was restored. I don't know actually why they were left out, but it seems like because of the transition, moving them from the ministry to that of the water and sanitation, I think that explains why there was that truncation. But it's been referred back to the Ministry for Water and Sanitation. So everything that has to do with the restoration of the allowance is being handled from that end. That is why today, when they embarked on their demonstration, they did not come to the Ministry of Health, but went straight to that of Water and Sanitation.
Very well. Thank you very much, sir, for your time and for that explanation. Robert Kujo is the PRO for the Health Ministry. We're making efforts to speak to representatives from the Sanitation Ministry as well, so we can understand what is stalling the payment of those allowances. Just so watching the Pulse with me, Gifty and Opia. Take a very quick break. We'll be right back. Please stay with us.